I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ryan. And this is Imzadi Podcast.
Today we are doing Flux.
Flux!
The Halloween
apocalypse. The episode of Doctor Who that came out very recently.
We start out on Namek.
On Namek. Yes.
Yeah.
We start out on planet Namek.
And
from the Dragon Ball Z franchise. Is this happening like during the Namek saga, or is this new Namek?
Yeah, it's happening like while Frieza and Goku. It's the first Namek.
That's rather appropriate given what happens at the end of this episode. Oh yes, spoiler warning for this entire thing. If you haven't seen Flux, then either watch it or you probably haven't.
Yeah, I feel like if someone's watching, like listening to a review, somebody is listening to a review, then they probably already watched it.
Then again,
I hope.
Yeah, and a lot of people would have confirmation bias one way or the other. Like, they'd be coming to this to decide, like, oh, does this person hate this? I want to listen to it and bask in the hate. Or does this person love this? I want to have my love for this era of Doctor Who, like, validated.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's got problems, but it's not like... I don't think it's bad. It does a few things really, really well, but it also does a few things quite badly, and I think we'll be unpacking that. That's my opinion anyway. What's yours?
Yeah, I think most of the episode is terrible. It's it's really bad for me.
Okay, so I will be representing the defense in this case. Maybe, we'll see. You might just convince me, though. We'll see. So let's give ratings at the beginning, and then ratings at the end. So right now, I give Flux a 6 out of 10, but like a good 6. What do you give it?
I would give it a low 4, if we're gonna go high and low on the numbers.
Okay, so let's see where we end up by the end of this. Right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
It does sound good. It's a challenge.
So, anyway, before that Namek joke, in all seriousness, we are on a green planet.
A very, very green planet.
Yeah.
Super green.
They're up in shenanigans.
Okay, so one thing that I had quite a big issue with was how the character of Carvanista, who, don't get me wrong, he is a very, very good boy.
Yes, he is.
Okay, but that, like, exposition diarrhea that they have at the beginning, when they could have just had, like, a short quip, because, like, generally, over the course of the episode, he's a character that's very much portrayed as being in control of the situation. And I feel like a better way to characterize that than having him meticulously detail all of the ways that the Doctor and Yaz are going to die that they already know. He could have just been like, well, it seems like you're kind of screwed, aren't you, Doctor? Like, I don't know, off the cuff of my head, but like, write something clever and witty and like short brevity as a solar wit and stuff.
Yeah.
It took me out of it, I guess. And it's a shame, because I quite liked the rest of that scene. Like, after it got going, after that, like, hump at the beginning, I liked, like, the Doctor and Yaz, like, kind of pecking at each other and shit.
Yeah, I like the dynamic.
I just said a bad word.
Why? How is that a bad word?
And then I did an even worse thing by calling attention to it, rather than just going on, because we're gonna be censoring it. Maybe. Probably not. But maybe. We'll see. Anyway.
My issue with this scene is the 7 references. It takes me right out of the story because of how hard they're trying to wink. And they're winking with both eyes.
I think
it's messed up.
Which is actually a very good way of dealing with a weeping angel.
Oh my
funny enough. More to the point, though, I completely agree with you. I feel like they're actively trying to invite comparison to the Seventh Doctor. And honestly, that's like a dangerous game to play, because the Seventh Doctor is, I'd say at this point, like next to just Tom Baker and like Patrick Troughton, I'd say he's one of the most well-regarded classic Doctors, like at this point, in the general fandom. Like, it seems like there's been kind of a renaissance of people getting kind of woke to Seven. And realizing that his era is the dopeness. Wasn't
there a rumor that he was gonna appear?
I hope that's true. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm not sure. I heard that from you, so I was hoping you could elaborate.
Well, apparently
I don't know anything about it.
The rumor, it got called a leak, but it's a rumor. Okay, that's a separate episode talking about leaks with inverted commas the size of Carvanista. I don't know. That was a bad synonym, but I'm just going to move on from it. The point being, the rumour was that the Seventh Doctor's actor, Sylvester McCoy, I think it was his casting agent or something, said that he was approached for something by the Doctor Who people, and he was very excited about it. And from that, people have extrapolated that the Seventh Doctor will appear in this. I don't think that's very likely, and don't think it's going to happen.
Not sure how they're going to make it work.
But it would be kind of cool.
I don't know how he would be woven into the story. Curious to hear anyone else's opinion on that, for sure. Like how he could be thrown in there to the Flux.
Just throw him into the Flux. Just have him show. Actually, to be honest, the fact that the Flux is like breaking the laws of time and space you kind of got your justification right there, because you could just be like, well, I'm old now because the Flux.
I love the look of the Flux. I love when it devours the planets and everything.
It reminds me of, have you ever seen the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Okay, you remember Parallax?
Yes.
The big yellow space cloud?
Yeah.
Made of fear. It reminds me of like a version of that with like way better visual effects. It did look cool. I was very impressed by it.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed by it.
The Flux, not Parallax.
I think everything looks pretty beautiful in this episode. That's one positive
I would agree with that.
I'll say about this episode is everybody's makeup except Yaz. Like, what are they not putting on her skin? Because she always looks like she's got a sheen.
She looks like...
And no one else has that. And it's like, help her.
She looks like they like kill her in between every scene and they have to clone the new Yaz.
Yeah, like,
and like they're getting a bit haphazard with like wiping off all the cloning goo. Speaking of cloning goo, Sontarans.
Yes, Sontarans.
The Sontarans did not need to be in this episode at all.
As much as we do love them.
We do love them, and we love the redesign of them. It's really, really, really something. It's very evocative of like the earliest appearances of them, which, I mean, that's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
It's very clear that they're nodding to classic Who quite a bit.
And I like that. But that's not...
I do to a certain extent, not when it's like thrown in my face. I would like subtle things. Not, oh, Nitro 9. I'm sorry,
You mean like how in the 12th Doctor's era they would implement like the hopelessness of a lot of episodes of classic Who and like the more long form, slower paced forms of storytelling, but still do it in a way that was newly presented in a brand new context and was fresh?
Yes.
Yeah, I know, I missed that too. 12th Doctor's my favourite.
If you can't tell, his favorite.
Yeah.
Mine's the 3rd Doctor. I'm a classic Who person.
I'm a classic Who person as well. It's just that he's the most classic Who of the new Who Doctors. I would say overall it'd be 12, then probably 7, then 3 for me.
I think maybe that's why I'm so offended by this first episode.
Because you feel like you're having a set of keys jangled in your face?
Yeah, and, you know, I'm all for new Who people getting into classic Who, Because, I mean, honestly, like, that's how I started with 9, and I watched everything, and it took me a long time to watch Classic Who, but, like, it was something missing from my life. Like, now I'm, like, a complete Classic Who head, and I don't know, like, I enjoy that someone else might have that opportunity to dive into it.
I think that's something that is cool about this run, though, is that, like, people who would not normally check out Classic Who, or like the expanded media stuff too, are going to be more encouraged to now, because this era is paying lip service to that. It's doing it poorly, I'll grant you that.
Yes.
But the fact that they're trying to do it at all is very admirable, and I think in the long term is going to lead to positive things. I tell you what.
Tell me.
I have been seeing on social media a lot, and also our good friend Shariel, who is in Something Blue Doctor Who.
Check her out.
Fan audio show. Check her out in Something Blue Doctor Who, which is great and is amazing. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I've seen loads of people are checking out Long Barrow because of the season of Doctor Who, and that's amazing. I remember when Lung Barrow was like the most anorak of anorak things to possibly even know about, and it's incredible that is now slowly seeping into like mainstream Doctor Who knowledge.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that in the next episode in more depth, though. But
yeah, for sure, we have a lot to say
But
about that.
for real, that side of it, just having that intention is pretty cool, although I do agree with you that it's being done in a very simplistic and sloppy way.
Yeah, that's my issue with this entire episode. It's very haphazard. There's a lot of nods and winks. They're not in the right place. And the comedy, I appreciate it, but it's really going flat. And, I mean, I guess that can lead into Dan, if you want. We can talk a little bit about...
Speaking of flat comedy...
Yeah, we can talk a little... Well, I mean, that's not necessarily his fault, in his defense. Just because, like, I'm saying this with the knowledge of, like, the second episode. So I'm not sure if this is fair to say. But in the first episode... Yeah, he's flat. The jokes they wrote him were awful.
I wonder how many of those were jokes that were written for him and how many of those are just him, though. Because, like, he's a comedian. He's not an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And the best I can say about him as an actor in this episode is that he's a really mediocre comedian.
Yeah, but, like, that's just... It's not him writing the jokes, either. I can't fault him just because he's a comedian.
Here's the thing. They've clearly brought him in as a way to, like, replace Graham. Because Bradley Walsh was the most well-received part, I would say, of seasons 11 and 12. Like, broadly speaking.
Yeah.
I would say he was the most popular thing about it. And... they were clearly trying to replicate that magic now that he was gone. The problem is that the reason Bradley Walsh worked as well as he did was because Bradley Walsh has this ability to, like, elevate really, really terrible dialogue. He's able to put, like, a lot behind his eyes as an actor. John Bishop can't do that. John Bishop can tell jokes good and he's charming, but, like... that's it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like it's a little bit like my dad is on Doctor Who. Which is weird because Bradley Walsh's character is basically my dad too.
Yeah, so, I know.
I'm also a Ryan.
He literally is.
I'm also a Ryan who's dyspraxic, so...
I know, it's like Doctor Who kind of like took your life a little bit.
It did take my life a little bit. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah, that's another episode.
Speaking of crazy theories.
Yeah.
Who's Swarm?
I don't know.
Who's the swarmy boy? The swarmiest of swarmers?
I feel like they're trying to get you to think it's the Master.
It's not. I really hope it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I tell you what, if they get led into their house, and he turns around, and you start hearing the... Nah, man, I'm out. I am Audi 5000. That is too much. No, I really, really hope that Swarm is Chris Chibnall's big effort to make an original character Do Not Steal. Yeah. I really, really hope he's trying to put his stamp on the Doctor Who Rogues Gallery, because Swarm is cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure about his sister yet, but I think Swarm is okay.
I like the fact that he has a sister, though, because it means that there's a dimension to him where he's not just malice and hate. He's got someone he loves. I think that the fact that the first thing he does as soon as he gets out is go find her, and like the fact that they're only ever like respectful and affectionate to each other, adds 2 or 3 really interesting layers to his character that other attempts to create a character like this, like Mr. Tim Shaw, didn't come close to.
Yeah, I think that it was a missed opportunity to focus on that woman and her husband a little bit more, to like get to know who they were and like how she got there, because he seemed to be like really rational as he was dying.
I think that what happened there was the same situation as in the episode Fugitive of the Dadoon.
Oh my goodness.
What is going on? I cannot speak today.
Twisters.
Alright, so in Fugitive of the Baboon, the character of the Fugitive Doctor, played by the Fugitive Doctor, Joseph Martin, they were embedded in there by the Division. Well, no, they weren't embedded in there by the Division, they were running from the Division, but the point is that they showed that having someone who was embedded with the Chameleon Arch and having like a handler for that person is a common thing for the Division to do. Okay. It's almost kind of like a take on like CIA safe houses and stuff. Like, I think that's quite cool. I like the fact that they kind of brought that back. I think that's what that's meant to be.
I just want to know like who decided that, who decided to put her like unprotected, basically.
The Division.
In like, I understand that, but who specifically?
Oh, well, who signed off on the paperwork?
Yeah. Who's sitting at the table?
Who did the risk assessment?
Yeah. Who's the team?
Who's the team? I want to know that too, to be honest. I think it's weird that Chris Chibnall created the Division when the CIA are right there. And like the more cynical and conspiratorial side of me wonders if that's just because he didn't want to like, offend people. Mm-hmm. But like at the same time, you don't have to explain that every time. You don't have to be like, oh well, not that CIA. Yeah, it's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was actually me doing that as like a blah 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 thing. That wasn't actually me not being able to word. I'm sure one of those is going to come up soon, and it's going to be very exciting. So, what else do I have on my little thing? What else do you have on your little thing?
Well, we can talk about the Victorian guy.
Oh, really quickly.
Okay.
Really quickly, but while we're still, Swarmy Boy still. We're still on that topic.
Yeah.
Can Swarm regenerate? Because it seems to me like he might be able to regenerate. Because now regeneration is something that could be anything, because that's been opened up by the Timeless Child thing.
Yeah.
And if you are bothered by that, like the Timeless Child thing, I was at first, because like obviously reflexively it was a horribly executed idea. But the first and second Doctor were humans. They were written as human beings with one heart, right? when the first Doctor regenerated into the second Doctor, it was the TARDIS did it, and he was meant to be a younger version of William Hartnell. Okay. That was the original, like, artistic intent behind that. And then when the third Doctor rolled in, the third Doctor really was what we mainly think of as Doctor Who now.
Yeah.
Like, in a lot of ways. The third Doctor is so cool.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay. That was quite the tangent.
I know that was. But the third Doctor is great, though.
So, the regeneration.
And Roger Delgado as the Master. The Brigadier. Okay, sorry. The unit family.
Oh my goodness.
Can we talk about the demons instead?
No. We're not talking about our Halloween episode.
No, I meant the third Doctor episode. Good plug, though.
Yeah.
That was very elegant. That was very well done. Yeah, you should listen to our Halloween special. It's got the demons from the demons in it.
Hey, Mom.
Let's talk about Carvanista.
Okay, alright.
Carvanista is a really cool character. I like him a lot. I like his costume a lot. Let's talk about his costume.
I like it a little bit. I think his little tummy area is weird. I'm not sure if that is his fur or if that's part of his armor because the way it comes out.
I think that's part of the journey. I really hope that they reveal that maybe in episode. I feel like that's episode 5 material.
I know is that I want to scratch his tummy.
I want to scratch all over him because he's such a good boy.
I know. I'm very jealous of Dan and him being able to boop his nose because I want to boop the snoot.
Here's the thing. I don't really like Dan, but I really like Dan and Carvanista.
Yeah, their dynamic is really nice. And I love that idea of,
I think,
the dogs being, smarter. And that's, one comedy thing that hits. But that's just maybe because I'm an animal person.
I liked it as well. I especially liked it when Rick and Morty did it.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, this is that's where this comes from. It's a Rick and Morty thing. Okay. Sorry to spoil how the sausage is made, but they took this idea from a Rick and Morty episode and readapted it to fit this episode of Doctor Who.
You think so?
Yeah, because they needed something to shield Earth from the Flux.
It's a hot take.
I'm probably not the first person to point that out. I hope I'm not the first person to point that out. Because, I thought that when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking...
Is it the one with, the dog that has, the thing around it? Or...
Yeah. That one, yeah.
Alright. I know that episode.
That's almost... You know why? Because Doctor Who has been actively teasing the fact that it draws... It invites comparison to Rick and Morty. Have you seen how many 12th Doctor and Clara are Rick and Morty memes there are?
No, I've never once...
You've never seen that?
No, never
Oh
once.
my god, it's
Sorry.
such a thing. And here's the thing. It's the kind of thing that doesn't matter in the slightest to anyone in the world except the BBC marketing department.
I don't know.
Because they will see that and be like, well, people like that, so replicate that. And then that will get taken through 9 to 12 different chains of letters. I'm completely speculating this. This probably isn't true, by the way. I'm almost certainly wrong on this, but it's a really fun thing to imagine, so let me have it. Okay?
I don't know. That's a big ask.
But no, I definitely think the idea of the dogs being smarter than the humans, there's a little bit of a Rick and Morty influence there. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, more importantly...
Big maybe.
Do you want to know what else is in that little mix? Because I'm not saying that's the only thing. And there's nothing wrong with it either. It's not plagiarism or anything. It's recontextualization of ideas. It is not a rip. I'm not attacking Chris Chibnall for doing this because this is what writing is. There's only actually 7 plots. You know what I'm saying? But for real, this character, I see that, and I also see a lot of Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams in this character, I think, is a very Hitchhiker's Guide concept. I could see the Lupari showing up in like a fourth Doctor and Romana story.
Yeah.
And I think they would fit right in.
I would have loved to see them on Classic Who.
You can have that one for free, Nicholas Briggs. By the way, there you go. I might actually get that one if you did that, right? Next classic Doctors, New Monsters.
Yeah.
Do a fourth Doctor, Romana and Lupari. There's a free idea for you. Yeah, go for it. You had another idea.
No, I was just gonna continue on the
wave. It says a lot that we keep on turning away from the episode to like random tangents.
Well, because this episode is all over the place.
Just like this review.
A bit, yeah.
Let's try and get a little bit back on track. Let's do our best here. What was the next topic?
I know I feel like there's so much to cover.
Well, then let's cover it.
I mean, we can talk about Vinder a little bit.
Oh yeah, we do. We should probably talk about Vinder.
So is he a prisoner?
No, he is an officer at an outpost. He might be there because of a prison thing, but
that's what I think.
Yeah,
I think he's done something to get himself put out there.
Probably, and it's probably going to be delivered in a really flat line of expositional dialogue. He's probably going to like turn around and be like, I strangled 4 kittens.
Oh my god.
Don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind. I suppose no, it's Doctor Who, so the way Doctor Who works is that the scaling is like all over the place.
Yeah.
So it would be, I detonated 7 billion squillion atomic bombs onto the heads of 4 kittens. So I thought in terms of how the episode was all over the place, cut out the Williamson tunnel stuff because that can be saved for the next episode. The bit where he's like wandering through, I'm confused. In this next episode, it's okay. This is completely separate to it. Should have been his introduction.
Yeah.
His like character introduction.
Yeah, I think it would have had more of an impact. But once again, we'll talk about that.
We will talk about that in the next episode
because that doesn't happen in this episode.
Those scenes being removed and the Sontaran scenes being removed means that you have more time for something that I would have liked to have seen that would have given Vinder a bit more grounding as a character.
Yeah.
Because he needs a little bit more, I feel.
I think what needs more shine, above everything, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is why did the sister take Diane?
Yeah, but why did the sister take Diane is like the thing that's going to be revealed later. That's the thing that keeps you watching. It's out of left field though, like nothing makes sense. I think it's a bit of a weird move too. It's just like, I'm going to take the loved one of this person you just met.
But does she have something going on with her that like she is special? Because we noticed that happens with Dan when the Lupari tries to do the mind thing to him. Oh my goodness, you okay? My boy.
Oh god, I'm regenerating. Alright. As we were.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any effect. I mean, he's not affected by that. You're starting to rub off on me with your gibberish.
Not affected.
Your gobbledygook.
I just think about the fact that like our show that we make.
Yeah.
It's just us.
Okay.
Same deal. It's all the same deal. I don't have notes on this page.
So you're not going to answer?
What was the question?
So Dan.
Yeah.
Not being affected by mind stuff. Is Diane the same way?
Perhaps.
Did she have something going on with herself?
Or was Diane taken because of Dan? Because he's special for some reason and he wasn't affected by the mind wipe. Could be one of either of those things.
How do they know that, though?
What? How do they?
Oh, well, no, yeah, that's a good point, because he says Swarm says that they've been battling.
Swarm, yeah, you got to think like Swarm is like
the future.
No, it's the past.
Oh, it's the past.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, that makes sense too. Yeah.
Swarm is
Who
like.
Who knows? Timey-wimey.
Well, Swarm is like a Sutek / Femric level threat.
Yeah.
So him knowing stuff that he shouldn't is fine.
Yeah, it seems like everybody knows what's going on except
honestly,
the
like,
Doctor, really.
This is something that we should definitely talk about at some point. I think Doctor Who is one of the most OP fictional universes out there.
In a way.
Some of the things in Doctor Who, like, I don't know. I feel like you could put them against the best.
Yeah.
In some other fictional universes. Like the Quantum Crystallizer. Just that. I don't know, it's like the One Punch Man of like not real science fiction stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Is there anything else that you wanted to cover before we wrap this up?
No.
I think that's pretty good.
You think that's a wrap?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really have anything else. I feel like I really want to sink my teeth into like the next episode.
I know, the next episode is good.
Yeah, there's a lot more to talk about. There's just not much. Like, there is a lot going on in this episode, but there's not a lot going on in this episode because they just give you little snippets of, like, things to come.
Yeah, it feels like a trailer more than an actual story on its own, and I think that's its biggest detriment.
Yeah, I feel like that's why, like, it's kind of a bit of a struggle to,
I think
stay on track.
The Dan stuff and the Swarm stuff should have been the focus, and I think that the Vinda stuff should have been the C-plot. I think that the Weeping Angel stuff can stay, that's all perfect as it is. I think that the Williamson Tunnel stuff and the Sontaran stuff should go. Yes. And that time that you've got that's there, you should have Di and Dan's relationship be developed a little bit more. And you don't have to add a scene to do that, you just have that scene where they're talking.
Yeah.
Go on a bit longer. And I think, the scene where you introduce Vinda?
Yes.
I would like to have seen a little bit of his daily routine for like a minute.
Yeah, they
just
could
to show
have
like
done
the
like a fast, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Like the isolation of living in that little pod and stuff. It really allows you to get into that character's head without any dialogue. Do character development with barely any effort. It would have been so easy, but I guess instead we needed to re-establish that Sontarans like to fight.
Yeah.
That was a lot more important than introducing this new character who's pivotal to your story arc. Well done!
That was another issue that I had before we wrap up. Was the simplicity of the dialogue. And how much
please get into that.
They felt the need to explain everything to the audience. And even that day, if everyone else who watched it when it came out, the episode after was the Weeping Angel episode. And it's just like they were really trying hard, and it's like we're not that stupid. Like, I just feel offended a bit as like a Doctor Who fan who's watched like years and years of this stuff. And like, it just, I don't know, it just seems like a slap in the face a bit. It's like, just get on with the story. Like, I just want to know what's happening. Like, explain it to me.
It has a very lowest common denominator, I feel, to it. Like, it really feels like Chibbers feels like we're stupid.
Yeah, I don't think he has a very high opinion of his audience. Oof. And I don't like that.
I don't either.
And I wish it was different, because I think he would have made some good content if he thought differently.
That's a very sad note to end it on.
Yeah, with that,
really makes you think that maybe Dan should have just applied for a job at that museum.
He should have taken that suit. Don't forget to take the soup.
Always take the soup.
Always take the soup.
Bye.
Bye.